Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of December 28th, 2016, the last pull of the year of 2016, and Marvel and DC decided to pump out everything known to man, so it is a ginormous week, fair warning. Your wallet will hate you if it doesn't already hate you enough with all the Christmas money you spent buying people presents. So first up, we have Action Comics number 970. This continues the Men of Steel story arc, and Lex Luthor is now on trial, so we will see where that story goes. I've been enjoying that. Next up is All-Star Batman number 5. Scott Snyder's done a really good job with the writing on this, but the artwork is atrocious, and it is very difficult to read. Yeah, that's the truth. Next up we have Detective Comics number 947. The Victim Syndicate story arc continues. Really, really good stuff there. I can't wait to dive in to see where it goes. Next up we have Divinity 3, Comrade Bloodshot. This is from the Stalin universe stuff that's coming out of Divinity 3. I have not yet read Divinity 3 number 1, so I need to get caught up with it, but I'm really curious because the Divinity stuff has been really good. Next up we have East of West number 30. Yes, this book is still coming out. It is on a delayed schedule apparently. So curious to see what happens in that issue. Next up is Flash, and apparently Tar Pit's there, and Santa comes to save the day. I guess you can still release Christmas stuff after Christmas? To keep the winter theme going, we have Frostbite number 4. I've really enjoyed the first 3 issues, so I'm going to keep going with those. But good series so far. Next up is Generation Zero number 5. Hopefully we get to seeing kind of where this town is and what is up with this town that they're in, but we shall see. Next up we have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 11. Just a really solid book. Green Lantern is really back to being a good solid universe. It had a rough time after Johns left from after his run on the New 52 stuff. Struggled a bit, but then finally started to get its footing, but it's been really good with Rebirth. Next up we have Harley's Little Black Book number 5. It looks like this one's going to feature Superman. Have no clue if there is the actual Duke out in there, but we'll see. Next up we have Hellblazer number 5. I've enjoyed the Hellblazer books so far from Rebirth, so I'm going to keep going with it. Yeah, if it I don't know. It's one of the ones that's on the back or on the low end of the stuff I'm enjoying. So next up is Justice League vs. Suicide Squad number 2 of 6. I have not yet read issue 1, but I'm really looking forward to this crossover. We actually saw that of the main cover and one of the other variants of Justice League vs. Suicide Squad number 1. We only have like 2 copies left of number 1. So if you're curious about it, you better get down to your shop and pick it up, because who knows if they still have any. Next up is Animals Mother Panic number 2. Enjoyed the first issue, so I'm going to continue with issue number 2. The next book on my pull list was actually recalled. Of course, we have to send it. We're supposed to destroy these apparently, but Saga 41 was supposed to come out this week, but due to a printing error where the cover is very dark, they've actually recalled all of the Saga 41s. So if your shop is selling them, they're not supposed to be. These books are supposed to be destroyed. I just wanted to bring one to show you and let you know what exactly it is that's going on right now with Saga number 41. So if you're looking forward to that issue this week, it has been delayed until I think next week or the week after. And you cannot buy the digital copy of it yet. You have to wait until it comes. They delayed that one as well. So next up we have Savage number 2 from Valiant. I read the first issue. It seemed pretty interesting, so I'm going to keep going with issue 2. It's kind of a lost on or deserted on an island kind of thing. So we shall see. Next up I got Scooby-Doo Team Up. Yes, I got Scooby-Doo Team Up number 21. Why? Because they put Harley Quinn in it. Yep. So I'll read that just for fun. Next up we have Sex number 34. Again, I've just been reading this for so long and beginning it for so long that I'm kind of just keep going with it until it's done. Next up is Superpowers number 2. The first one was pretty fun, so I'm going to check out issue 2. It's just a fun book for all ages. So next up we have Teen Titans number 3. The first few issues were good, so I'm going to see where it goes. Next up, we have Titans number 6. Apparently, what's the tagline? Lost to Infinity. Wally's apparently gone again. Wally seems to have a difficulty of staying in this universe. I don't know. He's just always gone. And last up on the poll list is Wonder Woman number 13. So, yeah, Wonder Woman's been great. Rucka's been doing an amazing job telling 2 stories, one in the past and one in the present. So, yeah, really good stuff. I did get some variants this week from the DC stuff. I got the Gary Frank Action Comics variant for number 970. I got the 2 variants for All-Star Batman. Got this one number here for number 5, and this one for number 5 as well. Detective Comics had a variant for 947, so I snagged that. Flash had a holiday one for issue 13, so I picked that one up. I like this Hellblazer cover a lot better than the other one. So if I was cutting myself down to just one variant or one cover, I would probably get that one. Justice League vs. Suicide Squad, of course, had the variant covers, and this is Superman going up against Enchantress for this one, and then the Terry Dotson one here, Enchantress versus Superman. Teen Titans, of course, 3 had a variant which is a little more cartoony, and then Titans had their variant for number 6. I think, Trip, you were looking for this one. And next up we have the Wonder Woman number 13 variant as well. So there is also a graphic novel or a specialty comic that was released today. That is the Love is Love anthology. This is a bunch of comic book creators getting together and producing some stuff so that all the proceeds from the purchase of this book go to help those in the Orlando, Florida Pulse nightclub shootings. So I'm curious to see what this is all about and what the stories are. It's, a lot of people don't like anthologies, but I think when it's for a good cause, giving it a try is something that you should do. So yeah. Good times. All right, next up, we have the read list. All right, these are the books that I get to stay kind of caught up with everything that's with other titles that are a little bit, popular, and but I don't necessarily want for my collection. So, first up, we have the Captain America Steve Rogers number 8. Nick Spencer's been writing this. It's been okay. I'm curious to see where it goes, but we'll see. Next up is the final issue for Civil War, number 2, issue 8. If you can't tell from what happens here what happens, I don't know what. And besides, we already know from the titles that have come out what happened. So, yeah, drop the ball there, Marvel. Next up, we have Extraordinary X-Men number 17. This is part of the Inhumans versus X-Men stuff. So, Uncanny X-Men came out last week. I did not actually grab a copy because we didn't really have enough, but we had enough for me to read. So, I'm going to read that and then this for the X-Men tie-ins with the Inhuman versus X-Men stuff. Next up is Ghost Rider number 2. We were overshipped a ton of copies of this. Why? Because Marvel's trying to inflate their numbers. We didn't order those. We don't want all of those copies because not that many people are going to come and buy those books. Marvel has been doing this a lot in that they're overshipping books that stores just don't want. They order what they want, but Marvel keeps sending them. So when you look at sales chart numbers, those aren't actually real numbers. Those are inflated numbers from Marvel pumping out copies to stores through Diamond and taking credit for it when it's not really a sale of a comic book. Because the stores didn't order those. They didn't. Next up we have Hulk number 1, but it's female, so I think this book should be called She-Hulk. But Hulk's apparently a girl now. It's She-Hulk. It's a She-Hulk book. I don't understand. I don't get it. It's dumb. Next up is Infamous Iron Man number 3. The first 2 issues of this were pretty good, so I'm going to check out issue number 3 and see where it goes, but it's just Superior Iron Man. Next up we have The Mighty Thor number 14. Really like The Mighty Thor. Good stuff. That's a book where I don't mind that Thor is now a female in the Mighty Thor book because it's part of a story that was going on. Now, the renumbering of it twice is stupid, but I don't mind it in that because it came out of the Thor book. She-Hulk is starting this book apparently, and it's just called Hulk. Wrap your head around it. Next up, we have Rocket Raccoon #1. All of the Guardian stuff says grounded on it, so apparently they're trapped on Earth. I don't know. The last Guardians issue I flipped through didn't even have Guardians in it, except for Ben Grimm. I don't consider him a Guardian, even though he's been on the team. Next up, we have Serenity Firefight Class 03K64. No power in the verse. #3. Yes, that does look like Matt Murdock on the cover there. The first 2 issues were cool, so I'm going to check out issue 3. I love the world of Serenity, so it's cool to see him in the comics. Next up is 7 to Eternity #4. A lot of people have been scrambling around to get early issues of this. It is really good stuff. I've really enjoyed it. I think Rick Remender leaving Marvel was a good thing because it's really improved his work. His solo work, his own title stuff. So, I'm not a big fan of his Black Science or Low or Deadly Class, because those had come out when he was in the middle of writing for himself and for Marvel and all of this stuff, and so I think he was just overloaded. 7 to Eternity feels like this is the first story we've gotten from him where he's had space to breathe and not so stressed, and it's just, I've really, really enjoyed 7 to Eternity. So if you could track down second or third printings of those early issues, I would highly recommend it. It's good stuff. Next up, we have Star Wars #26. Very solemn that a Star Wars book comes out this week, since we did lose Carrie Fisher, and then the day after we lost her mother. So sucks. This year sucks. Thanks God it's almost over. And finally on the read list is Supergirl Being Super. This is a large format comic from DC. I don't know how many are going to be in this. How much is this damn thing? So you can... This is $6. So, but it's the thick glue or bound version, comic type. So we'll check it out, see what it's all about. I'm not too keen. I dropped Supergirl off of my pull list. I couldn't hang with it. But we'll see if this story catches my interest. So that's it for my pull list this week. This is the last list this year. Thank you guys for watching. You like usual, please leave comments down in the description below. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully this next year I can get more content up here for you, but I'll try and stay consistent with giving you at least the pull list every week. I know this week was delayed because our shipment got delayed. Our shipment wasn't put on the Friday truck, it was put on the Tuesday truck because apparently FedEx observed Monday as its Christmas holiday. So I didn't have any books Tuesday to do my pull list Tuesday night, and we didn't get our books Wednesday, and so Wednesday I spent all day processing, and I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and so this is the first chance I've gotten to sit down and do the pull list for this week. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. We have our list. Episode 291 of the Comic Conspiracy is up, and that is our top Marvel, DC, and indie comics for the year. So you can go to www.geekbox.net to check that out, or there's a link in the description below to check out that podcast. So if you're curious, check it out. You can also help me and my fellow conspirators at www.patreon.com/comicconspiracy, and for as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting and getting food and other stuff, and we highly appreciate all our Patreon backers. Thank you so much. And you get some special little bonus content stuff. You get Toby and Charlie's The Roundup, which they talk about a ton of different TV shows that are out there that are not comic book related. And also you get access to the brieflies, which are never brief. So thank you again to all our Patreon backers. Thank you for watching for the show this year. Hopefully next year we could have a better year, but until then, Happy New Year, and I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you next week as well as next year.